It's Monday malarkey. It's IndieVelo, of course. It's IndieVelo. We love IndieVelo, don't we? And we're going to have a look at the 2 loops course tonight. Hopefully plenty of you on the start line. I think around 50 already. So it should be a good turnout. Now, the little loops course is quite interesting. We'll have a look at this. The 2 loops, one is the velodrome, and you go down to the coast, that's downhill, along the coast and uphill to the lake, a loop of the lake, back down again, back up that zigzag hill, round the velodrome. Now, you're going to do that twice, so it's all kind of velodrome, little bit of hill. I mean, it's not too steep going up either of those hills, but I think those 2 hills will be where the attacks are. And if you look at the profile, the grey line across the top, just above the map, you'll see that from the left it goes downhill to the coast from the velodrome, a few little bumps and bits and pieces, and then back up. There's a little bit in the middle where it's kind of rises to go up to the lake, and then you see that long climb back up to the velodrome at the end of the lap. Now, that's 2 laps, so they're going to do that twice. It's great fun going around the velodrome. Of course, that's pan flat, but we expect the attacks. I think mainly they'll be on the way back to the velodrome at the end of lap 1 and the end of lap 2. So let's look out for that. Let's see what happens. Now then, let's remind ourselves where we are with the standings. Electric Spirit very much leading the team classification. They've been absolutely superb. But Race 3 are not out of touch, are they? Racio Racing in there as well. West London VR, my own team, just ahead of E-Cycle Club Denmark. Remember, they do Wednesday nights on IV, so if you're on IndieVelo, nothing to do on a Wednesday night, well, even if you've got something to do, cancel it and do E-Cycle Club Denmark's open race. Pokemotion, John Sammer missed the race, and they've dropped down a little bit, but don't write them off yet. Tim Humpton from Electric Spirit leading the series, but he's not that far ahead of Eugene Korolev. Evan Oystensen at Race 3R for Norway. Zeb Norman, the other Electric Spirit rider, up there. Rasmus Feldball for ACKD. Rob Miller, Race 3R. Race 3R very dominant in this, aren't they? Richard Gate, an independent rider just ahead of the Racio Racing brothers, Jorgen and Ingmar van Beers, and they are brothers from the Netherlands. Ludwig Karlberg in 10th. In the Ladies' League, Lisa Snell's ahead of Aline Davison. This is the best of 6, so after this race, it will start to change it up a little bit. I think Aileen's racing tonight. I know Lisa West isn't for Twickenham. She was told not to after some dental treatment late this afternoon. And Maria Vitsky, I believe, is racing tonight. We have 44 seconds before the start of the race. Why don't we go across and see who is on the start line? See if we can spot any of the stars. It's quite a good turnout. We've got quite a big peloton in there now, haven't we? So that's going to be quite a big race, I think. And we shall have to see how it all pans out. Now, do remember, we have a pacer, and if you look on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see that the pacer is just at the left. It's a 1 kilometre lead out. I mean, I'm not sure it's that. We'll have to see how it works on this descent. I perhaps should have shortened it because when they go down the descent, they will, of course, risk overtaking the pacer, but we'll have to see how that works out. Of course, they've got half a lap of the velodrome, which will take out quite a bit of the first kilometre. People being quite cautious now, but as I say, and I think it's the downhill now that may or may not, and as the first riders go past, it's Christian Edge, and we start with 79 riders, which is a bit of a record for us. Again, riders just going past they can't do much about it because they've got brakes. So they need to soft pedal. On the other hand, though, the pacer will increase speed. Not too many people going alongside it, which is good news. Oh, a few do there, minus 2%. And we'll have to see. Maybe I should have shortened this one a little bit more. We are learning all these. But these people go past the pacer, they will get braked. I don't think it matters yet. I think they'll get back on. As I say, the pacer should increase the speed beyond what they're doing. I mean, they're doing 42 kph. The pacer should be getting up and heading towards 50 very, very soon. And I think it will sort itself out. Everybody together behind the pacer now. So I don't think anybody's lost out too much from that. You'll still be in the peloton and with a chance. But watch out for the 1 kilometre mark when, of course, and here it comes. You can see those 2 white plumes coming out of the road. After that, you can go past the pacer. we still got 79 riders in the race. You can now go past. It's who's going first? Oh, that looks like Kurt Pedersen. And maybe Doug Hart, did I see him? Yes, Doug Hart. You recognise Doug Hart without even looking. Chris Fitzia from Austria, by the looks, Poland, sorry, is with Doug Hart. Doug Hart, always very recognisable in that sort of orange shirt with black shorts. Looks like he plays for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and always that shaven head and no helmet. So Doug Hart, very outstanding. Rasmus Feldball in third, Ingmar van Beurs in fourth position, Eugene Korolov behind them, Angeli Bikak, Alexander Pognac, Chris Fitzia, Colin, they're moving so fast. Oh, there's a little bit of a split there. We're seeing the first split. Now they're going along the coast, and this is some pressure on the front. 49 kph, quite high. That pressure now is a Portuguese rider here, Santos, by the looks of things. And it's interesting graphics as the letters come out the wrong way around, but I'm reading that as Santos. So Santos now in the Portuguese, pulling out 53 kph, and he's pulled out 1 second on Ingmar van Beurs, Rasmus Feldball. I think they'll let him go. Not least, there's a little bit of gap, couple of riders dropping off the back here. Steen Nielsen there, and I think that's Rob Gilmore with him. And they're a second now behind Maria Vitsky, enjoying the flat. Maria from Puerto Rico, of course, you can tell by the flag. She's just behind Gail Robinson for Twickenham. Now, this is the great ladies' league battle, isn't it? Gail Robinson, and I know Lisa West couldn't make it because we spoke earlier today, and she was told by the dentist not to do any exercise tonight, but after the dental work. So Gail Robinson flying the flag for Twickenham ladies there. Maria Vitsky in for West London ladies. Those teams vying for the points in the ladies' league. And Gail, a veteran of West London organised races, and always a delight to have Twickenham in the house. There's Maria in the blue and white. She's just ahead of Gail. Gail in the Twickenham kit there. Now the all-blue Twickenham kit. Gail just hanging on the wheel now. She needs to stick with Maria if she can and try and get in front if at all possible. Bjorn Hansen is the in the yellow there. The Dane just being overtaken. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Still Millwall, I beg your pardon. Steve, Steve, you'll be all right in this one. There's not many hills. Steve was worried about the hills last week, but you're fine this week, mate. You're absolutely fine, and you're in good company with Gail Robinson as well. So, Gail Burkett, I think some of you might know her. Gus McPherson is at the back. I'm not quite sure why Gus is so far back. He's behind Mid-U Canada. I know Gus personally. This is Gus now. And Gus, they're just sitting on Nielsen's. Oh, here's Gus now, sorry. I'm not quite sure why he's so far back, because I know Gus personally and know that he's quite a fast rider. You can see actually he's doing 38.9, which is faster than anybody around him. So something's gone wrong at the start, I should imagine, for Gus. I think he'll make up ground. This is only his second ride on IndieVelo, and I think the first time he had a dropout, so it might be his first completed ride. Good luck, Gus. Anyway, nice riding with you yesterday. A good fun conversation in the cafe at the stop. Doug Hart out in the front of the first group. We're looking at two groups here. We're looking at one of the groups further back here, and we've got Maria Vitsky in that group alongside Steve Millward, Gail Robinson. There's another Andy Evans for West London in there. Bjorn Hansen of Denmark, of course. Now, going back to the front of the race, it's Evans, Oystons and Doug Hart. Once again, Doug Hart does like to attack. A couple of Ratio riders now pulling away from the R3R rider, and in amongst them they've got 3JD, which sounds like a bar order to me, but I'm sure JD stands for his real name. Doug Hart, though, putting on the pressure as Alex Plaisir, the Ratio rider. Now, Alex is very much a team player and will try and get his Ratio team into good positions. Eugene Korolov in the green there. The white jersey with the purple, of course, is the JD and Coke. 3JD, I beg your pardon. Johan Peru for UCT is in there, Le Francais. and this bunching together 3 Ratio riders in there, 1 R3R, and Daniel Nurshburn now for Pedlars. He's got that orange kit on as well. Very Wolverhampton Wanderers if you're British, and he's Doug Hart's teammate. In fact, there's a third one in there, isn't there? It's John Sammett. No, that's Pokemotion, I beg your pardon. John Sammett is in there. Glad to see John back. I know he missed the last race. Andy Beale in there for Westerly, I see as well. Bert Soderberg and Rasmus Febble. Tony Martin Lake, OTR, in the green OTR kit, which you can see just surrounded there by Pedlars riders and an ECKD rider. Frederick Foulon, great to see you, Frederick. Thanks very much for the message earlier in the week. Very nice to engage, and as we said in the messaging, see you on the start line. Well, in fact, I'm actually only seeing you quite a way into the race, aren't I? So it's 12 kilometres to go, and I'm only just seeing you. Now then, we should be going up to the lake very, very soon, and here we are. We've come off the coast. Gradient's up to 1% now. Doug Hart pushing off the front. I think there will be some sort of attacking here. I don't think it'll be that huge because, like I say, it's not the steepest gradient up to these lakes, but nevertheless, Doug Hart pushing away. 0% again now, not too much. Doug hasn't created a gap. We still got 79 riders in the race. Notes commentary, Alba Rosie is Latin for White Rose Yorkshire Club Pro Lead. Do you know what? I've been waiting weeks for somebody to tell me that. Thank you, Richard. Alba Rosa. Didn't know that at all. I'm well aware that the White Rose of Yorkshire, of course, and Leeds United play in white as well, don't they? So thank you very much, Richard. Thank you very much for telling me that. I stand educationally superior to how I started this race. No, I like little facts like that. Alba Rosa. Is there a Lancashire one, or shouldn't I say that to a Yorkshireman? Probably shouldn't. Anyway, Alba Rosa, White Rose of Leeds, Yorkshire, should I say. And if you're not from Britain, the White Rose of Yorkshire and the Red Rose of Lancashire there was a War of the Roses. It was an English civil war for succession to the crown, and the two houses of Lancaster and York had respectively roses as their symbols, and the War of the Roses is between those two families effectively having a civil war to decide who sat on the throne. There's better people than me that can tell you all about it, but we often talk about the English Civil War as the Cromwell Charles I one, but of course I always think there were two, the Wars of the Roses. So Alba Rose, now we know. Richard Gates, educational correspondent, filling us all in. Daniel Nurshburn for Pedlars in that orange. Go on, Gail, Lisa West, and as I say, Lisa sitting there at home. I don't know if you're numb, Gail, or sorry, Gail, Lisa. I don't know if you're numb, but I know you've been to the dentist and you were told not to do any exercise straight after the dental appearance. But I assume that's because there's the risk of high blood pressure and bursting something. But I don't know if you're numb or not, and I mean, I sit there for hours numb and not enjoying my food properly, but hopefully you're enjoying the racing, Lisa, and let's see if Gail can pull out some points for Twickenham tonight against West London ladies. Battle of the ladies here, Twickenham, West London, all within a few miles of each other and all very good friends. Richard Cordova is in the race as well. Delighted to see Richard in there wearing West London colours for the first time. He's alongside Andrew Beale, who I saw yesterday as well, actually. Ingmar van Beurs, Richard Gate in there from Alba Rosa, and he, of course, is a history professor. Our official West London Munda Malarkey history professor is now Richard Gates. He's fount of all knowledge. John Sammett for Pokemotion back now in that orange kit that we talk about so often. John actually likes it when I talk about the new Pokemotion kits, and he's been chased by Nick Greenhouse, again, who I saw yesterday actually. Gasper Copsey in there, and Zeb Norman in the white for Electric Spirit, and I haven't seen, I'm assuming there's some more Electric Spirit riders in here. I haven't actually seen Tim yet, so hopefully Tim's in the race. Marino Sesson in there for ADR, the Italian rider. 2% gradient now as they're going up this hill and towards back up the velodrome. So 9.3 kilometres to go as they go away from the sea. 3%. This is where I think the attacks will happen. Henrik Mard in there. Great to see you. Another Pedlars rider. Pedler's got a strong team out here. Poker Motion, Jan van der Linden and John Sammer up there. Ratio in the shape of Nick Greenhouse. And Zeb Norman, Free Spirit. We haven't seen Tim Humpton, though, who's leading the series. I'm hoping Tim's in here somewhere. We don't want him to lose too much ground. We're on to the velodrome. So this is dead flat. What will happen on the velodrome? And will this be a sprint to lose some riders or not? We're looking at Tim Cummins here, Wesley rider. He's just sitting there. He's getting taken. He's been passed by a couple of Danes here in the red and white. But it's all out on the front. I mean, this is stretching it a little bit. And I don't know whether this is a clever move or it's not. I mean, this is an unusual race with the velodrome right in the middle. It's Nick Greenhouse who's doing the damage though. Doug Hart on him. That's the one lap they do. Now it's downhill. It seems to have caused a little bit of a split there, doesn't it? I think we might have lost some riders. Zeb Norman in that front group. Jan van der Linden, Alistair McAlpine. Great to see you, Alistair. I know you haven't been regular too often, but as they go downhill, some riders in the race still going back up, as we can see. How dispiriting if you're coming up. But that's not what it's all about. It's all about the participation, and it's very important to understand that what happens, there's a natural selection. You should find yourself in a group of people like you, and you will end up, Kurt Pedersen on the screen at the moment, one of the ECKD riders. Remember that ECKD are your Wednesday night choice. He's on the descent here, chasing the group in front. John Sammer is within sight. Daniel Nurschberg behind him, though. It's certainly split up the group on the on the velodrome there. ECKD, look at this wonderful video all about ECKD. Now, 7 o'clock every Wednesday on IndieVelo. This is where you need to be. We'll be broadcasting it just like this on Wednesday. So if you want to be on screen internationally, make sure you're there Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, ECKD, their open race every Wednesday, 7 o'clock on IndieVelo. Fun for all, as they say. And I very much echo that because you can have the slogan because it's your slogan, ECKD, but I will say that it's very much the ethos of West London as well. So ECKD, Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, be there. And later on, we'll give you a bit of more information about Tour du Monde, which is coming next year, run by the OTR guys. And don't forget OTR here on Tuesdays and Thursdays with their respective race, Titans and New Horizons. So something to do every night, isn't it? And guess what? It's a pedaller's rider off the front, and it's three. Sorry, this is further back, isn't it? Evan Oystenson. I beg your pardon. It's Rasmus Feldball off the front, an ECKD rider, and is a pedaller's rider off the front now because it's Doug Hart, of course. Richard Gate just dropping out of the group there. This has thinned down as we do the second lap, coming down to the coast again onto the 0% bit. It's 3JD. I'd love to have a more pronounceable name. I assume it's 3JD, not JD. I'm not saying that all the time. I'm going to call him JD. JD off the front, Doug Hart behind him, Nick Greenhouse, and Johan Perrault for UCT Le Français is in that group as well. Great when we have French riders on here. We're on slightly different sort of time zone to the rest of Europe when we're out here. And I see Doug Hart now. James Melville's off the front. Didn't recognise you in that kit, it has to be said. 269 power, cadence 77. Quite relaxed as he turns inland, taking the hill now up to the 2%. So this is a slight incline. I love this valley though. I love the sharpness of the incline either side. Very dramatic climb, isn't it? James Melville putting on the pressure. We're into lap 2. There's only 6 kilometres to go. It's round the South Lake, then zigzagging, along the coast first, and then zigzagging back up to the velodrome. Half a lap of the velodrome. And at the moment, it's JD off the front again. Doug Hart chasing him down. Nick Greenhouse. It's the same ones all the time, isn't it? These are the protagonists. And in the red and white coming through now, we have Johan Perrault, UCT Le Français, as I said before. Chris Fistia is in there. Chris Schwenker. Fields are getting bigger and better every week. And Chris Schwenker, Zwift. Now, if you don't know what Zwift is, please, after this race, just Google it, right? I mean, it's just like the best blog going. And Chris Schwenker writes that. We still got 79 riders on the field. That's quite good, isn't it? So Chris Schwenker writes from Zwift. It really is the Bible, the blog you need to read if you do online racing. And Chris writes superbly. He's quite a nice bloke as well, I have to tell you. I like him. Anyway, Jan Peru is now off the front for UCT, the French team, and Alistair McAlpine now coming through in the blue. Now, Alistair and James Melville are on the same team, although I don't think they've necessarily got the same kit on. A bit of coordination needed there, lads. James, by the way, if you are watching, or even Alistair or any of the other guys from Dumbarton who ride for Glasgow United, James, your trophy from the last series is in the post. You should have received it by now, actually, so hopefully you have. And I sent it to the old address I have for you, so hopefully you haven't moved. If not, you need to go round and visit the people you sold the house to. Anyway, back to the races. James Melville off the front now. The guy I'm talking about. Yes, you, James. I sent you a trophy. He's Casper Gopse now for Horacio, pushing out. Doug Hart doesn't like to see that. He retaliates. He reacts. Zeb Norman. Now Zeb Norman taking a bit of a punt. The electric spirit rider now. Casper Gopse now. JD is actually the one chasing Zeb Norman now, not quite getting away, and JD picking him up with Alistair McAlpine, the other Glasgow United rider. A little bunch forming there. Somebody else going off the front. It's Zeb Norman. It's Johan Peru again. Johan now. He's eked out a second on the others. It's -2%. It's downhill. Will this be decisive? Goes through one of the barriers. It's not one of our barriers. Well, it is one of our barriers because it says Monday Malarkey all over it, but it's not relevant to our race. Eugene Korolov now. Eugene Nez second in the rankings. And if Tim Humpton isn't here tonight, Eugene could find himself leading the series. This would be a major result. He's just praying he doesn't get some sort of blowout. Now, as I was saying, before we get too far into the race, very quick reminder, Tour du Monde is back. You know it from RGT. It's run by OTR. It is one of the big events of the year. Always is. It's coming back this January. It's run by James Ogilvie for OTR. As ever, you can see the graphic on there. It's going to be on IndieVelo this time. So, 12 stages, as the graphic says. Team spirit, oh look, it's all in there. We all know how good that is, and we all know that your January is going to be rather remiss if you don't take part. Of course, Monday Malarkey and ECKD Wednesdays will also be around, so there'll be some big choices. James Melville now off the front, the Glasgow United riders, they come back down onto the coastal road very, very shortly. It'll be flat, then up that zigzag to the velodrome. This is where the race, well, not here, but on the race back up to the velodrome. If you look in the top right hand corner, you can see that it goes along. They're going to do a right-hander, go along the coast, and then to that zigzag up to that loop of the velodrome. That zigzag is where the race will be decided. So we're just going over this last little bump. It'll be downhill. You can see the horizon there, where the fir trees are. As they go round, it will go down. Once it goes down, you'll see the coast. It'll be downhill, then flat. One of the other riders still going back up on the first lap. Don't worry about that. This is racing for everybody. And I know that's probably ECKD's slogan, but I'm afraid I just agree with you so much, guys. Doug Hart, Johan Peru, James Melville, Kester Dobson in there. Haven't mentioned you yet from Southborough District Wheelers. Hadn't seen the Southborough kit in there, but you've been hiding a bit, Kester. Great to see you. Not sure who else for Southborough's in there. Marino Sesson now. He's only 2 seconds off. So this group got some big names. Great to see you, Kester. I know some of the other Southborough guys have been in. Haven't seen you yet so far. So absolutely fantastic. Welcome back, Marino Sesson for ADR. Been riding in our races for a long, long time. Go, Henrik Marg. It's Christophe Canton from down there in the Rhone Valley. And great to see you, Christophe. Thanks very much. He's encouraging the pedalers riders, of course. This is fantastic stuff, isn't it? They're on the coast. This little bunch is going to be where the selection is, and we still got 79 riders in the race, which is absolutely fantastic. As Eugene Korolov now second in the series, hasn't got Tim Humpton in the bunch. He's looking to take the lead in the series. And Feldball chasing him down. Doug Hart's still in there. Doug Hart's not going to let anybody go. Nick Greenhouse will be competitive to the last two. Chris Fizia in there. JD's been very, very competitive. Kester Dobson, we know that all the Southborough riders are good riders. And Casper Corpse, Henrik Mard in there. Let's see what happens next. They go inland from the coast. we're starting to look towards the climb. It's still 0% at the moment. They're inland, but they're not going uphill. 1%, the first bit of the gradient. Nick Greenhouse now going to get a jump on the others, but he's being followed by Rasmus Feldball and, of course, Johan Preux and so Daniel. Yeah, Daniel Nurschberg. We love Daniel Nurschberg. He's been riding with West London races for years. Christoph, thank you very much for remembering that. And you shouldn't put suppose in there either. So, and it's... right then, who is it? It's sorry, my screen just shut down. Alistair McAlpine going off the front. He goes through the Flamme Rouge. Still a bit of climbing to go. 3%. Alistair coming from Scotland, being chased by Jan van der Linden from Poker Motion. Alistair not putting out a lot of ground, but he's got the advantage. And Jan van der Linden just catching up with Alistair now. We have 800 metres to the finish. The peloton's going to catch Alistair. It hasn't quite worked. It looks like Nick Greenhouse, who's going to take over the lead. They're on a 3% gradient. Nick doesn't quite get past Alistair, though. Is Nick out of puff? Or, well, I don't know. Some other riders coming through now. JD's in there. It's Ed Norman at the front. He's Electric Spirit. They're going to miss some points tonight if Tim isn't riding. Zeb Norman, it's on you to pick up all the points, but Eugene Korolov has got sight of first place in the general classification. He's absolutely going for it. They're piling out 39 kph at the moment on a 3% gradient. This is phenomenal. 41 kph on a 2% gradient. And it is John Sammet who's going for it as they get onto the velodrome. John Sammet has eked out about a second on the others, and it's being chased by Eugene Korolov. Eugene will take the points in second, I'm sure, but it's John Sammet going for the win. Will Nick Greenhouse respond? I expect Nick to do it. I think John's being caught. Nick Greenhouse going for it. He's got John within his sights. Will the road run out before he gets there? This is going to be very, very close. And John Sammet just makes it from Nick Greenhouse and Eugene Korolov. And Eugene Korolov will take the series lead. Bruno Sesson in fourth. Zeb Norman, Electric Spirit, picking up more team points. Gaspar Copsey, Horacio. James Melville, Glasgow United, taking 7th place. What a finish. Well done, John Sammet. As we watch Chris Visitor from Poland coming in. Doug Hart, way back. I'm afraid Doug's settling for 16th there after doing so much work on the front. It's almost slightly disappointing. Alex Plager now for Ratio Racing coming in. He's got 2 seconds on Per Soderberg from OTR, and Jorgen van Beers and even Dostenson, even actually third in the series at the moment. So he will be quite competitive about passing the people in front of him and maybe getting a couple of points. Well done, Alex, as we go back. And I think Alex Plager now. So that is Evans. I kind of missed who did what there. We'll have to have a look at the results in a minute. They're coming in thick and fast now, aren't they? We haven't seen Craig Jones yet, but I see he's on his way. Kurt Pedersen, FIAC, he's an ECKD sub-team rider. Andy Beale coming in next. Good to see you on Sunday. Richard Kavoda, well done, Richard, picking up some points for my team. We're watching Gordon Jackson, the Lancastrian lad, who's one of our legends on these series. Stanley Gabriel from Electric Spirit will make sure they get at least 2 sets of points. Julian Fussell, one of the other Southborough District readers, love Julian, known him for a couple of years now, great guy. So another one of the ADR riders, Claudio Iscari from Team ADR, is just being chased a little bit by Alexander Payne from OCCR and Laumé, 2 French riders now chasing down Claudio Icari from the Italian team. Stephen Bellio in there as well. Quite a few riders within grasp here. Richard Gate from Albarose, from Yorkshire, of course. Peter McDermott too. And let's see what happens here. They've got 500 metres to go. They're still on the 2% climbing bit, and we're watching Stephen Bellio now. Stephen's the OTR rider in the green and white jersey. Nice stream, guy. Let's go, Henrik. Thank you very much, Andreas Johnson. Thank you very much for watching. We love Henrik Mahard as well. He's a bit of a character, as we all found out on another series. Chris McConton in there as well. Thanks, Christoph. Always a pleasure. So closed races. We'll enjoy our winter, mates. Congrats all. And John, you are on fire. Yes, John Sammet was on fire. It's such a shame for John that he missed a race recently and didn't get the results. And his OTR rider, Stephen Bellio, that's pulling away now. Richard Gate from Albarose is losing a bit of ground, but it looks like somebody is chasing up in the orange, and it looks to me like one of the Oh, yes, as they go through. Another cracking bit of sprinting, that, wasn't it? We shall check out exactly who finished where. 3 ECKD riders in this group, an OCR rider, a peddler, and just looking at the some of the results on the side, we have seen these ones. James Melville at 7th, which we've kind of got to. Henrik Mard at 8th, Alistair McAlpine at 9th, Johan Prehu 10th, Kester Dobson from Southborough 3rd, JD settling for 12th, as we are watching one of the peddlers riders. And look at the OTR rider coming through here. Look at that. Took 3 places and 3 extra points in that. Absolutely fantastic. Clive Byam, I think that might have been. No, it was, I beg your pardon, it was Andrew Street, wasn't it? We're now watching Klaus Rod coming in. 15th was Chris Visitor. Doug Hart settling for 16th. We saw Alex Pleasure at 17th. Persoda Barger 18th. Jorgen Van Persie. Oh, and another OTR. Strong finish. Look at that one. And that was Clive Byam this time. Well done, Clive. Absolutely strong finish. Absolutely brilliant. Jorgen Van Persie 19th. Daniel Nerschper, who we saw being cheered on at 20th. Ingmar Van Persie for Ratio at 21st. We're looking at Tim Cummins, who lives down the road from me, riding for Westerly here. He's ahead of John Rogers. Going back to the results, Evan Oystensen, who's way up in the rankings and could get a podium place in the general classification, getting 22nd, picking out 78 points. Tony Martin late for OTR, fantastic racing from OTR today. And don't forget OTR Tuesdays and Thursdays on IndieVelo with Titans and New Horizons. In between that, you get the ECKD race. And look at that, Kurt Angus was 24th, but 25th and 26th and 28th at 3 Danes. And we're looking at John Rogers now. I think Irene Davison might lose a point to the OTR rider. She just holds on ahead of Adam Bennett for OTR. We're looking now at Tom Allsop coming in. I see Tom was running a nice little race this evening. I hope you had fun today, Tom. Good to see you racing. Evan Oystensen, as I say, 22nd. Tony Martin, mate, Kurt Anderson. Then Jacob Mathiasen and Jacob David, 26th. And Frederick Foulon, who very kindly took time to have a little banter on Facebook this week. Great to see you, Frederick, and thanks for that. Always enjoy that. 28th was Nicky Howgard, another one of the Danish riders. The Danes are so good, aren't they? Andy Beale was 30th. Richard Corgrove, West London, was just behind him. Christian Edge, Poker Motion. Then Craig Jones. We're just looking now at Francis Chambers for IndieVelo Founders Club coming in. And now it's Cornelius Quinones. And I'm not quite sure what SUF team is, but it looks very much like the ECKD one, but I'm not sure. So we'll have to find out. I'm sure somebody, sure Richard Gate can probably tell me. Alba Rose, it's the White Rose of Yorkshire. Now then, Dominus Quinones is coming in now, and great finish, well done. Ian Craig is next. He's ahead of PJ, the Frenchman riding for Twickenham Cycling Club. Great to have you in. A couple of Twickenham riders on the way. Oh, look, they nearly caught up. And PJ just held off the OTR rider there, just clinging onto those points. As we're watching Natalia, that's for Russian rider. She's actually putting in a bit of a pitch for the Ladies League as well, so look out for her. Going back to the results, Christian Edge at 33rd. Craig Jones, favourite loud kit man, at 33rd. Gordon Jackson, OTR legend from Lancaster, 34th. Stanley Gabriel, Electric Spirit, making sure they pick up dual riders. Here's Gavin Grant. Gavin is a legend in cycling, and I am going to go and visit him in the Pyrenees in June, and we're all going to cycle up some mountains. Looking forward to that, Gavin. And Gavin from Scotland, the British flag. He used to always have a Scottish soul tie, I thought. Anyway, he's ahead of Robert Gilmore. Gus McPherson now, he's 32nd behind. I'm going to have a word with Gus, because he can absolutely rip us apart on a club ride, and I'm a little bit, I'm not sure if something's gone wrong, or he's just kind of learning the ropes a little bit, but I think Gus is going to be getting better results than that. Gavin Grant coming in now. Rob Gilmore next up. 79 riders. He's 72nd. This is going to be, if we get 79 finishes, I think one will be a bot, so we're probably down to 78. There's certainly a bot at the end, so we're looking at probably 78 finishes, which will certainly be a record for us, and I've got a feeling that might be a record for real riders on IndieVelo, but I won't I won't make that statement because I don't have access to the data. Rob Gilmore, well done, Rob. Absolutely fantastic. Picking up points. Gus McPherson, beat Gus McPherson. I'll tell you what, if I ever get the opportunity to beat Gus McPherson at anything, in fact, I might enter next week's race if he's just in case. Gus is a strong rider. He's better than this, I can tell you. Looking back at the results, 36, Julian Fussell, good mate of mine, and West London generally, from Southern District Wheelers. 36, Stephen Belly from OTR. 37 with that fantastic finish. Occitan Riders is Alexander Payne. E-Cycle Club Denmark with Jan Hansen, who's the man who organises those Wednesday nights. Well done, Gus. Thanks for riding with us. So Jan Lanjar Hansen is the man who organises Wednesday nights. And don't forget, Wednesday night is ECKD night, and we will be streaming it live just like this on Wednesday at 7 p.m. UK time. So make sure you're on the ECKD, right? As we see it, look at some more results. Peter McDermott from Alba Rose. I don't know if you know this, but Alba Rose means the White Roads of Yorkshire. He beat Deans Bolt from E-Cycle Denmark. Henrik Poulsen is another Danish ECKD rider, but in the old BMX team. As we watch Gail Robinson pulling in some ladies' points. Lovely to see you, Gail. Well done, and make sure you keep clocking up those points for Twickenham. What a nice little tie. Oh, look at that finish. Steve Millward just losing a point to Migu Canada. Migu Canada does this quite a lot, doesn't he? And once again, he's beaten his nemesis, Marivitsky. Going down the field, Andrew Street was 51st. Clive Byam, we saw a fantastic finish. 52nd, Klaus Rod at 53rd. Tim Cummins, 54th. I usually do better than that, Tim. Not sure what that is. John Rogers at 55. Eileen Davidson picking up West London ladies' points. And I presume this is Maria Witsky last in, picking up points for West London too. I assume between the two of them, that's quite a good haul for West London. So let's have a look, recap where the big John Sammer is back in style. What a finish. Nick Greenhouse, unlucky Nick, but I think John was strong at the end and just held on from that charge. Nick really competitive. Eugene Korolov will be absolutely delighted. Tim Humpton has been missing today, and it would have rounded up to 80 riders, wouldn't it? So Eugene Korolov is probably now leading the series, and I think he will be. Marino Sesson in fourth, the Italian. Zeb Norman, Electric Spirit, and he's ensuring, I think, that they will just about keep the team lead. We'll have to see. The results will be up on www.westlondoncycling.com. That's westlondoncycling.com within an hour or so. So you can check out where all the teams are. Gasper Copsay at 6th. James Melville. James, your award is in the post. I hope you got it. From Glasgow United up there in Dumbarton. Henrik Mard, the man with the caption, was certainly in action. 8th tonight. Well done, Henrik. Alistair McAlpine, the other Glasgow United rider. 10th, Yaram Preux. Well, what a result. Great when we have French riders in. Love it. Union Cycliste Tonon-les. Oh, okay. So we'll have to look up Tonon-les. I don't know where Tonon is. I've got a feeling it's towards the south, but I shall check that one out. My French geography isn't too bad, but that's not instantly recognisable. It's been fantastic. Well, it's always fantastic when you know that you've got a team like ZMS behind you to broadcast these things, isn't it? Thank you very much, Damon. As I say, we'll be doing all this again on Wednesday night for the ECKD, the E-Cycling Club of Denmark. See how many riders they had in tonight. Let's see if they can beat us on Wednesday. Be there, 7 o'clock, ECKD. It's your Wednesday night fixture. And if you want a bit of training in between, don't forget that OTR are busy doing Titans tomorrow. And if you want to warm down after the ECKD one, don't forget OTR doing New Horizons on Thursday. Wow! The action is incredible. It never stops. I'll see you soon. I'll see you Wednesday and next Monday. Results up on westlondoncycling.com within an hour or so, assuming nothing goes wrong with the spreadsheet while I'm playing with it. So, thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for racing. We love this. Hope you love it as much as we do. See ya.
Gentlemen, perhaps we wouldn't be where we are today if we hadn't said to ourselves, just go, 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 go for it.